Welcome guys, let's discuss on destructuring in JavaScript. So I have just created a sample index.html file, right? Let me just include a script tag over here and let me create a JavaScript file, destructuring.js. So that's my JavaScript file. And let's just include that in here. My source is equal to, whenever I typing, it will give me this help text. Okay, so what is destructuring is basically you break your objects slash arrays into smaller elements, right? So you can just single out the values from arrays or objects. So let's take an example. So I have an array is equal to, now let me just name it as 1, 2, 3, 4, a simple numeric array. Okay, now how do I get the elements from an array, right? I can loop through it, right? But there is also another, I would say, nicer concept. What you do is you just destructure this entire array. So you take a new variable, let's say a comma b, and then you create it to the array using the assignment operator. So what I have basically done is I'm just saying take out two elements a comma b from my array. So let me just console.log. Let's see what happens. I'm just using backticks. So over here $a, and then that's my $b. Save it and let's just run it. Open in default browser. Okay, hello viewers. So let's just observe the console. On console it has printed 1 and 2. Okay, so the reason this has been printed is because, right, you really need not do that looping concept or get a of 0 or error of 1 or something. You can just destructure this entire array object as it is. Okay, so I have done a comma b equal to array, so it has given me first and second element. Right? What if I wish to skip some elements? So let's say I don't want to get the second element. Simply just put comma a comma c is equal to add, right? And over here I'm just going to log the result. So that's my a and my c. Save it, go over here, refresh this. Okay, identifier a. Okay, sorry guys, yeah, so you have to use a different one. So that's a catch over here guys. So always remember the identifier should be changing. So let's just name it as d and refresh it. So it has printed 1 and 2, and then it has printed 1 and 3. So it has skipped the second element just by separating this by comma and not giving any variable declaration. It will just skip that index of the array and it will move to the next one. And let's say, what if you want to print only the first element, right? And then you don't want to print the second. Okay, you don't want to print the third, that's all right. And then you want to print the rest of it. So that you have to use spread operator. Spread operator is 3 dots and just name it as rest, not maybe ELEs or something. Okay, is equal to arr. So it will destructure this entire arr, and then it will, let's say, console.log e. Okay, so let me just copy this. So ELEs will basically contain the remaining elements. Okay, ELEs. Let me just save it, refresh this. You see that? So 1, 4, 5, and it has skipped the second and third element. So 2 and 3 has been skipped, 1 has been printed, and then since I've used a spread operator, it has printed the remaining elements. So that is how guys the destructuring concept works, which is a really important one, I would say. What else you can do is you can also concatenate two arrays, right? So for example, if I have arr and then I have another arr2 is equal to let's say that is my 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How can you concatenate the two? So basically you just have to create a new array. New arr is equal to nothing guys, so syntax is almost same, just arr comma and arr2, that's it. it has to be const, sorry. Okay, let's console.log and the const variable. Sorry, new var. New var over here. Save it. Refresh that. Let's see. So in the third, you have just arr5 comma arr. Now, so that's two arrays it has combined, and at index 0 you have this, and at index 1 you have this array, right? So that is how, guys, you can destructuring works. You can concatenate arrays. You can take out the elements, take out the objects as well, right? So that was destructuring on normal arrays. But let's take an example of object as well. Let me make an object, and let's just give it let's say name is 2. Okay. Why did that strike out? Okay, guys, so you cannot use name because name is a keyword in JavaScript. Okay, so it actually used to set the name of the window. So I think most of you will get that error. You cannot use this as a variable, right? Because it just gives you that it's been deprecated. Let's just name it as first name. Let's keep it as, okay, first name is Vishal and age is, say, 30. All right. So how do I destructure this object? In similar manner, right? Now, since it is an object, you have to use curly braces, right? You cannot use the normal array braces. Make it as like this is my first name, okay, and equate it to obj. Okay, let's just do console.log first name, save it. Okay, refresh it, so it has printed Vishal. So that is how, as your object destructuring works and your array destructuring works. Like, you can extract the elements, right, as an individual values, and then you can just perform your operations. So it just saves the overhead of iterating through it, and then it just gives it a nicer way, right, of interacting with the arrays and objects. So that's it, guys, on destructuring. Let's discuss another important topic in next video. Thank you.